As a voting delegate, how would you stand against injustice toward LGBTQIA+ clergy and laity in our denomination?
The moral imagination of Jesus calls us to put the marginalized at the center of our tables. Relationship is primary to reality, and our relationships have to make Christ known. And those relationships enter into our processes. So that kind of thinking and that kind of action has been part of my ministry. I would do that in the Wisconsin Way Forward. I'll serve queer couples in a reconciling congregation here, and I'll be an advocate for queer clergy in Wisconsin and elsewhere, and work hard until we root out the sin of exclusion.
We are all ministers in the United Methodist Church. What is one concrete example from your ministry that shows your desire to dismantle systemic injustice in our denomination or elsewhere?
What's ironic about that is the biggest thing I've done, I can't really say, which tells you a lot about the church we live in. But I can say that in 2016 I worked very hard on the delegation to elect 3 progressive bishops out of 4 at the jurisdictional conference. And I can tell you I worked very hard to teach and to listen and to offer forums and processes that enabled our congregation here in Waukesha County to become a reconciling congregation.
What ideas do you support towards facilitating the disaffiliation of congregations, conferences, agencies, and ministers from the general church if the stance of the general church toward inclusion of LGBTQIA+ persons is not changed?
Yes, civil disobedience will need to increase if structures don't change. And so we have to have a stomach for that. And in addition to that, change is external, but transition is internal. So we have to make room in our own internal spaces for that moral imagination of Jesus. And then our form follows function to discern what is the vision and what is the unity that we can discover in ourselves and with others in order to develop God's new thing, however that looks. I think it's early now to identify one specific plan over another, but I would work hard to network and to find ways to change the structures until we root out the systemic sin of exclusion.